everybody, welcome back to the kitchen. National Empanada Day is happening, so in honor of that, we're going to do a recipe out of my cookbook, Get Your Grub On, with bean, cheese, and bacon empanadas. Now, in the book it calls for vegetables. We're changing it up just to make it a little more simple. For our dough, we have 1 1/4 cup flour, 1 tablespoon of room temp butter, a ½ teaspoon of baking powder, a ½ teaspoon of salt, as well as a 1/4 teaspoon of onion and garlic powder. We've also got a ½ cup of malted milk and right under a ½ cup of hot water. Now for dipping, we've got the same salsa that we used out of my octopus taco recipe. And for our filling, again, some shredded cheese, some refried beans, and some bacon. Let me show you how we get this easy recipe going, shall we? Mix that all up. And add our butter as well. And just mix this all together. Last thing you want to do is add your water and mix that all up until it's a nice smooth dough. The reason why you want your water so hot is because that way it'll melt your butter down and you can mix everything up a little bit better. If you need a little more water, add about a tablespoon at a time so that way it can make a proper dough. Otherwise it's going to be either too dry or too wet. Alright, so this is where we're at. Obviously, if you're going to make more empanadas, double the recipe. But we're going to just let this sit for about 5 minutes. We're going to wrap it all up, and that way we can start getting our empanadas made. Get just a little bit of flour on your workspace. You're going to get one of your empanada balls, and we're just going to roll it out. And there you go. We're going to get a couple tablespoons of beans, a little bit of some cheese, and some bacon in the middle of our empanada. And then what we're going to do is get just a little bit of water, wet our fingers, and go around half of the empanada. And we're just going to close this all up and close this all up. What I like to do is kind of press down around the sides. And we're just going to get a fork and crimp it shut. A little rustic, but I think you get the idea. We're going to do this a couple more times. Next, all we're going to do is get a little bit of egg wash and just brush that all over. And we'll put this in our air fryer. Normally I would bake them, but I just feel like air frying them. We'll do about 400 for about 5 minutes. We'll flip them over and we'll check them, and I'll let you know how that goes. After 5 minutes, this is where they're at. We're going to turn them over and let them go for another 3 minutes. Alright, I think it's safe to say we're ready to bring these out. All we're going to do is get a little bit of our salsa, our pre-made salsa, get that right in the center. Now if you want to go crazy and make a mess on your plate, by all means do so. I happen to like the way when you make it look messy. We're going to get one of our empanadas. We're going to cut that in half. Notice how it all just kind of oozes out. We put that right on top like so. Just a little bit of some cilantro. Let's try it. All right. Altogether, really good. In the future, I'd probably just roll the dough up a little bit more, but fantastic, delicious, hearty, and rich. Overall, I hope you learned something today. Make sure that you follow me on social media. Chef Steven Gonzalez on Facebook, Chef Steve Gonz on Instagram and Twitter. Also go to chefstevengonzalez.com. Get a copy of my cookbook and this recipe from my cookbook, Get Your Grub On, and we'll catch you later.